What's going on, guys? Roger here with QVO Tactical. In today's video, we are checking out a gun that we've actually have been waiting to shoot for over 3 years. You might remember back in 2020 when we were at SHOT Show filming this video right here. Well, after all of the delays, the gun has finally been released, and here we are. Of course, I'm talking about the Dan Wesson DWX. As always, I like to tell you guys how I go about getting these products in for review. You all know our good buddy Calvin from OMG Tacos out in Texas. Calvin picked one of these up when they first came out and of course had some things done to it. Once the gun was complete, he reached out and said he would like for us to review it here on the channel. With this being a gun that I wanted 3 years ago and something that I actually had already ordered but never got because of the delays, I definitely did want to check it out now that it was finally ready from Dan Wesson. Calvin sent this gun out to us for us to use in this video, and it will be going back to him once we are done using it for content. Alright guys, with that out of the way, let's get into the specs of this new offering from Dan Wesson. The DWX is the collaboration of like-minded people from both CZ and Dan Wesson. They have taken the best of both worlds from the CZ platform and the 1911 platform and combined them into this DWX. It has the grip angle and contours of the CZ75, making it very ergonomically friendly. The gun comes with a barrel just under 5 inches in length, chambered in 9mm. The DLC coated slide sits on top of a steel frame with aluminum grips. Calvin has switched these out with some black grips from a CZ Shadow 2 to give it the murdered out look. The gun has an overall weight of just under 3 pounds. It features ambidextrous thumb safeties and is a single action only gun. The gun is compatible with CZ P10F and P09 magazines, which allow you to have a capacity of 19 rounds and are very reasonably priced. You'll notice front serrations that match the rear, a flat face trigger, fiber optic front sight, and a 1913 Picatinny rail for weapon lights like the Surefire X300. Now the standard version of this gun is going to come with an adjustable rear sight. However, Calvin had this DWX cut by Vulcan Machine Works for this Trijicon SRO. As you can see here, Vulcan Machine Works was able to get a very nice deep optic cut, which does a great job at eliminating a lot of the mechanical offset. Calvin also added this black magwell from Armory Craft for a CZ75 as the finishing touch. Okay, now with the specs out of the way, let's get into what you guys all came here to see, the range footage. For this range session, Gil and I only ran about 300 rounds through the gun. We just wanted to go out and see how well we performed with the DWX. As always, we started with recording our first rounds through the gun, so here's that footage now. Alright guys, out here on the range, I've actually shot the DWX in a previous range day, but Gil hasn't, so we'll get him up here in a second, get his initial thoughts on the gun. But I'm going to shoot 10 rounds, check the grouping, then I'll have Gil shoot it, get his thoughts, and then we'll get this thing zeroed. So I got some 124s loaded up, 10 yards out. Let's see how we do. Here we go. Pretty good. Looks fairly zeroed. We'll go check a look at the hits real quick. Sorry about the wind if you guys are hearing. It's kind of windy out today, but I mean, I'll take that all day long. We got what, 11 Alpha, 1 Charlie. So I'm gonna have Gil shoot it, get his thoughts, see what he thinks, and then we'll go from there. All right, we got Gil up now. First rounds to the DWX. Go for it, bud. How'd it feel?
Man, it feels super smooth. It tracks, man, little recoil. It's actually a lot smoother than I anticipated, like considering all the ports that we shot out of your guns. But yeah, that was nice.
Let's go take a look at the hits. So definitely a good grouping, dude. Looks like everything Alpha and then just 1 Charlie up high. So we'll get this thing dialed in for a fine zero and then we'll go from there. When I initially got this gun from Calvin, I noticed that the optic screws were a little loose and they had not been properly torqued down. So before heading out to the range, I got the optic properly installed, and while we were out there, I wanted to make sure we got a good zero. All right guys, 10 yards out, we're gonna get Calvin a really dialed in 10-yard zero with his Trijicon SRO. Like I said in studio, with Vulcan Machine Works doing these optic cut, it is super, super deep and low, which we like because that'll give you a point of aim, point of impact, kind of like from 5 out to like 25 or 50. It's pretty much the same because it's so dang low. Very similar to the Terran Tactical Stand Viper video we did, how they make the optic cut very deep. Anyway, let's get a zero. I'll shoot like 4 or 5 rounds and we'll see where we're at. All right, 5 rounds, and we got 3 touching right here, so I'm gonna go with that as my group. And we're about 1.5 inches away, so I'll make my adjustments. Elevation might need to come up a little bit as well, and I'm not sure what the adjustments are for the SRO, but I'll look it up and get this thing adjusted real quick. So all 5 rounds right here. So I'm gonna come back 2 to the right, 1 down, and we're good to go. All right, guys, for this last shot group, got the camera up there recording so you guys can see it as it happens. Here we go. Let's go check those hits. Boom. Right here. So, Calvin, you are zeroed, bud. Now that the gun had a good 0 at 10 yards, I wanted to run some build drills on paper for time. All right, guys, gonna run some build drills for time. 7 yards out on paper. Got a camera recording up there so you guys can see the hits as they happen live. Here we go, stand by. Time's a 2:04, first shot was 1:17. That felt pretty good. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 alpha, 1 Charlie in a 2.04. I'm gonna see if I can push it a little faster and see if we can get all alpha clean. Trigger feels great. I'm learning a little bit, like I'm used to shooting ported guns, so with this I'm having to drive it a little more forward at the wrist to mitigate the recoil, but I mean it's 9mm, it's nothing crazy. Just doesn't feel as flat as if it was ported for, I mean obviously, but anyway, let's run it again. All right, here we go, stand by. .207, first shot was a 118. So we got slower by 0.03 and another Charlie. So not the route we want to go. Let's go again. All right, let's see if we can beat that sub 2 second. Here we go. Stand by. Doesn't help if I shoot 7. 7 shots in a 216. Where was that? Oh, it would have been a 199. But we got, what, 5 alpha, 3 Charlie. We'll go one more time and hopefully I'll count correct this time. Stand by. Got a 190, so 1.9. First shot was a 106. Splits are looking good. We got 0.17, 0.16, 0.18, 0.17, 0.16. Looking at these hits, I think I shot a little high. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 alpha, 2 Charlie, but I don't mind these next shots. So sub 2 second. Was glad to get there. However, not all alpha, but gun shoots really nice. I know people are going to ask right away, how does it compare to your staccatos and stuff? Very similar, just not as flat as like my Staccato XC, but for obvious reasons. Big old port island style barrel, island comp barrel on an XC, and also being, you know, $4,400 gun versus, I want to say, I think this is just above $2,000. So, but definitely performs nicely on the range. I'm going to run some other drills, some El Presidentes and stuff like that, do some reloads with Magwell, and yeah. Now with this gun being designed for the competition world, I wanted to run the El Presidente drill as well. Stand by. Got a 571. I did have 1 mic. I watched that shot drop and still took it. But let's look here at the hits on paper. 3 alpha, 1 Charlie. So got a total time of 571 with 1 mic. I'll run the drill a couple more times and see if we can do better than that time and have all hits. Got a 589. Let's go check these hits. We know the little steel guy's good, and we know the C's good. 3 Alpha, 1 Charlie, 589. So not faster. We had a 571 on the really good run, so 589. I'll do it one more time, see if I can get under 5.5 seconds. Whew, 5.59, so better time, got all my hits. Reload was a little sloppy. Let me see what that reload was. Reload was a 195, but 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 Alpha, ran it clean. This little mini A-zone clean as well for a total time of 5.59. Hey-o. Now, something I noticed during this drill, guys, in regards to my grip, I run a really high thumbs forward grip, and I found that my support hand was engaging the thumb safety during my string of fire. This made me think that I had a dead trigger or that I was messing up the cadence of my fire, but I will better explain it here on the range. All right, guys, out here on the range, something I noticed I want to share with you guys. Gun is clear. I've noticed during some of the faster build drills and my El Presidente drills, I was getting what I thought was dead trigger, but it's not. It's actually me engaging the thumb safety inadvertently. What is happening is that I run a super high thumbs forward grip, and I'm noticing this meaty portion here of my my left hand is coming up and engaging the safety, and I'm going to press the trigger, and then nothing's happening. Not at all DWX's fault. It's obviously my grip. I typically don't run the Euro Tang style grips. I always run pretty much a straight 1911, 2011 style, and I'm not too familiar with these, but in running it, it definitely feels great in the hand, but it is something I'm noticing with my grip style. I come in here, I end up swooping in and engaging that thumb safety even halfway like that. There you go, it kind of went. But I'll come up, boom, and then it's getting half engaged and not going. So just something I noticed. Again, not at all a thing on DWX. Like this style of gun, this style of grip's been around for decades. So, but just something I'm noticing as I'm getting more familiar with the platform. Stand by. There we go, did it again. So right there is what I was talking about earlier, where I engaged the safety with my thumb, or sorry, with the meaty portion of my left hand, and end up thinking I have trigger freeze, but it's just me engaging the safety. Now you may be wondering about the holster that we were using. It is the QVO Tactical secondary on the waistband holster for a 5-inch 2011 with Surefire X300 that is made by us here in Las Vegas. I noticed that pretty much from the trigger guard forward, the DWX does resemble the dimensions of a 2011. So if you have this gun and you are looking for a holster, it should fit most 2011 holsters that have adjustable retention. Now something else that I wanted to try was utilizing this gun in our Blackhawk Level 3 duty holster for my Staccato with X300. I'm happy to say that it is an exact fit. So if you work somewhere where they actually let you guys carry this gun on duty, or if you want a retention style holster, you are in luck. All right, guys, so if you work at a department that is cool enough to let you carry something like this, or if you want, a level 3 retention duty style holster, happy to report these do fit in the Staccato X300, X400 Weapon Light series holsters made by Blackhawk. This is the Blackhawk T series. We have a whole video on it. Definitely check that out if you haven't already. And because of how deep this Optic cut is from Vulcan Machine Works, you can actually use this holster in conjunction with the Trijicon SRO, something you can't do with the Staccato series. So with that being said, though, I do want to run some first shots from the holster for time, see how we do. 7 yards out, C-zone steel. Let's see if we can get a sub-second draw from the level 3 duty style holster. Here we go, stand by. .16. So one thing that's different about the T-Series, I talk about it in the full video on this, the lever is actually on the side and you push in. So you're having to do this motion where you push in, then bring your thumb back up to engage the thumb safety. So see if we can cut that time down a little bit. We're very close, 1.16, stand by. .07, stand by. Couldn't get to the safety fast enough. Stand by. .05. And a .98. So doable. Yes. Consistent, probably not. I'd probably be in like the 110, 1.1, 110, 120 range, 1.1, 1.2. But it is cool that these do fit, and I don't mean just like kind of fit. I mean like fits. So with level 3 retention, obviously good to go. If you undo the first level of retention, now you're at level 2, where you still have to engage the thumb mechanism. Still isn't going anywhere until you press down and pull it out. So good to see, good to know. Any of you guys want to rock this on duty or in a deuce-out holster, Blackhawk T-Series is going to be the way to go. All right, guys, that pretty much covers the range footage. I'm happy to report that in the 300 rounds that we shot, we did not have any issues with the DWX in regards to malfunctions. Like I said earlier, though, the only issues that we had were engaging the thumb safety with our support hands. When Gil went to run a couple of drills, he also noticed this happening to him. We are both fairly new to the ergonomics of the CZ75 platform, so I'm sure that with a little more time behind this platform, it would not be an issue. I have shot several matches with people that run the CZ75 and Shadow 2 guns in competitions, and they are typically at the top of the leaderboard, so I definitely think this is human error, not anything to do with the grip of the gun. The DWX is definitely a flat shooting gun, guys. It honestly feels just like shooting a 1911 or 2011 to me, but with a different grip style. I do like how the grip fits naturally into the hand. However, because of that slightly different grip style underneath the beaver tail, I do find myself engaging the safety when I do not want to. Overall, I think that the DWX is a good platform for those who enjoy the CZ75 or Shadow 2 platform. I definitely think if you're interested in this gun, you should get out there on the range with it and run it for yourself. Like I said, we only ran about 300 rounds to the gun on the range. If I were going to purchase this gun, I definitely want to run for maybe like 500 to 1,000 more so I can get more familiar with that grip. Guys, the gun has an MSRP of $2,100, making it $400 less than its competitor in the 2011 side of the market. It is not Optic cut, however, it is an all-metal gun with a full steel frame and then metal grip panels instead of a plastic grip module, something that I really do enjoy. I do wish the gun did come Optic cut, though. I hope to see that's being offered in the future from Dan Wesson. With it being 2023, I think that we are starting to finally see Optic cut handguns as the norm or the standard. I do really like the fact that the gun is compatible with P10F magazines, as they are easy to find, reasonably priced, so that's a huge plus right there. Guys, that's going to wrap up our review of the Dan Wesson DWX. We want to thank our buddy Calvin for sending this out to us. We do appreciate it, man. We appreciate all of you guys checking out the video. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up down below because it does help out the channel. If you are new here, consider subscribing because we post some new videos every week. If you want to also check out this video on Patreon or Rumble, we do post videos there as well. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.